Hello, class. Congratulations. You made it to the end of the course. Good job. uh, I know it's been a lot of work, pretty intense, especially since it's only 7 weeks. But I hope you enjoyed it somewhat and enjoyed the readings and all those types of things. And I hope I was able to make it at least a little bit enjoyable for you. Um, so, first, I wanted to cover a few things in terms of your grades. Uh, I enjoyed reading your Benjamin Franklin essays. For the most part, they were really good, and it was fun reading about the different interpretations you all had of Ben Franklin as a person and politician, inventor, all those types of things. I will say one thing. I wish that more of you had pushed back a little bit against Ben Franklin. Um, when we read history, we tend to look at it from our own perspective or at face value. And it's important to keep in mind context when we do that. Whenever you read anything, you should ask who's writing it, why are they writing it, who's their audience, and what's happening around them, when was it written. And if you keep those things in mind, it's clear that Ben Franklin had an agenda that he was trying to push on his readers. He wanted to portray himself in a certain way, in a way that's different, or the agenda was certainly different from the documents that we read in The World Turned Upside Down or even in Frederick Douglass's autobiography. Um, the World Turned Upside Down, obviously the Native Americans are trying to accomplish a certain goal, which is to preserve their anonymity and their influence. And Frederick Douglass also has an agenda, not so much to tell the reader about himself, but more about he's more trying to convey the horrors of slavery, right? Which is, again, is very different from what Ben Franklin was trying to do. Um, so, so it's important to keep those things in mind. But for the most part, again, I enjoyed reading the Ben Franklin essays. I've also really enjoyed reading your discussion boards. I thought the interaction was great, great observations. Many of you went above and beyond and did a really nice job in conveying your thoughts and being respectful, which is always key. Always be respectful. Um, okay, so there's a few things I'd like you to take away from this course if you haven't already. The first is I hope that you've gained a greater appreciation for U.S. history. It has affected all of us in some way, and so I hope that you've come to understand better the characters, the events, the nuance that's there. Not everything is black and white. We can't just project a simplistic perspective on these characters and what they accomplish. We have to take into account the different things that went on and the shades of gray that existed. Um, Second, I hope that you've sort of gained an appreciation or at least developed your own critical thinking skills. This goes back to what I was saying about Ben Franklin and reading primary sources. It, part of the educational experience is learning how to think critically, and history, I think, does a good job of that. Being critical, analytical, uh, but without being cynical. I think history does a good job of that because if you understand the context of things that are happening, things that have happened, then you can understand in a better way why things happen. And it also teaches, to some extent, knowing that context and being analytical teaches us to be more sympathetic to the people around us and certainly to historical figures. So I hope that's another thing that you've been able to take away. I want you to question everything, essentially. Third, I hope that you gain a greater appreciation for writing. I think writing is a skill that you can use in anything, just like critical thinking. It's important to be able to convey your thoughts, and it's important to convey information in a meaningful way, in a way that people understand. And if you can do that, then you're going to go far. Other than that, that's it. Those were the three main takeaways that I wanted you to get out of this course. An appreciation for history, critical thinking, and sympathetic thinking, and of course, writing effectively. Uh, so, in terms of your grades, I'm going to try to get them done by the end of this week. And also, later on down the line, if you ever want to reach out to me, if you have a question or want to discuss something, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm happy to discuss anything that you'd like. Um, it's been such a pleasure teaching you, and I hope that you enjoyed the course. And good luck to all of you in your future endeavors, and have a happy holiday season.